For over 10 years now, we've fought the armies of darkness in the world of Warcraft, slaying each enemy which stands in our way of losing our virginities. But there is one question which is asked under the breath of each great raider, and that question isn't who is the strongest raid boss, but which raid boss has the biggest dick. After trawling through the loincloths of many a Warcraft villain, sifting the wheat from the chaff and casting aside false idols, I bring you the top 5 biggest raid boss dicks of WoW. No, seriously, this is not a wind-up. Number 5! You could be forgiven for thinking that alleged evil dictator Shen, who, by the way, did more for advancing Pandaria than any drunk fat-ass panda ever did, would have a small dick based on the fact that he appeared in the Mists of Erectile Dysfunction expansion. But the fact that this dude had such a deep hatred of the Pandaren people makes him my number 5 every time. This is further supported by evidence that he built a wall the length of Pandaria that separated the Mantid from the rest of the continent's races, and even after his resurrection, retreated to the Isle of Thunder to continue his plotting. You tried keeping it up for thousands of years. Shen proved that he could, even if he was eventually killed by a bunch of bots, AFKers, auto-attackers and window lickers from LFR. Ugh. Number 4! Summoned by Emperor Thaurissan, Elemental Lord Ragnaros erupted into our plane of existence. So mighty was his penetration from one realm to another that it actually created the Black Rock Volcano, which separates Burning Steppes from Searing Gorge, spewing the Fire Lord's lava muck all over both of these zones. Knackered and drained from the experience, Raggy decided to take a kip in the depths of Molten Core, and so epic was his biggest dickus display that any unsuspecting band of 40 heroes attempting to interrupt his slumber was systematically dispatched to the four winds. And even if they were fortunate enough to bring the Fire Lord down, Raggy would simply flick them the bird and piss off into the elemental plane for some additional sex sleep, not to be seen again for another 7 years and 3 expansions. Now that's an orgasm, people. Number 3! Yes, you saw it right. Number 3 is indeed Lady Vash. Lady Vash has a bigger dick than you. That's just a fact. Hashtag deal with it. Actually, Vash's phallus is so big that it manifests inside herself if you dare challenge her in combat. Emasculating all who come near, she will further embarrass you by throwing an elemental bukkake party and growing significantly in size with each that explodes over her body, until she's so big that if she were to extend any further, there'd be a high chance she'd be impregnating the ceiling. And although she may be older than Hugh Hefner's ballsack, she's still got it, wrapping both Illidan and Kael'thas around her massive tail, kicking ass all the way from Outland to Northrend and back again. Her only downfall was to be let down by her choice of partners. Eek, typical Mene, ladies. Number 2! Not quite hitting the top spot is the fallen crown prince of Lordaeron himself, Arthas Menethil, or whenever he appears on Azeroth's Got Talent, the Lich King, especially since Nazul was outed as a massive pussy in Warlords of Draenor. Ever heard of the phrase, treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen? Well, Arthas gave this a whole new meaning when shunned by his part-time squeeze Jaina Proudmoore outside of the gates of Stratholme. Deciding to show her his bad boy side in an effort to win her back, he proceeded to wipe out the population as they prepared for their annual Michael Jackson Thriller Tribute Festival. Not content with that, he then went on to kill Daddy, destroy his home city of Lordaeron, pretty much wipe out the whole of the north of the Eastern Kingdoms, and bought up as much real estate as he possibly could in Northrend. And even after he dies, still has Jaina gushing like the front row of a 1D concert when they found her locket on his dead body. Know what we call that? Big dick! That's what we call that. Number 1! There can only be one legitimate choice for the top spot, and that's old god himself, YoggSaron. Seriously, you have no idea how big this guy's dick really is, and rumour has it that this tentacle sex monster's love rocket, although locked away in his eternal prison of Ulduar, managed to have an influence on some huge events in the history of Azeroth, all the way from the Sundering itself to the assassination of King Lane. Whoops, Warcraft movie spoilers. And even the blonde streak on the now platinum-haired Jaina Proudmoore. Okay, that last one might not be so true. But even when you fight him, Yoggi has no problem at all showing the ladies exactly what he's got on offer, showing off a wide variety of different sized schlongs. And you don't jerk Yoggi off, he jerks you off! What a guy. And get in his brain, he'll literally mindfuck you. Defeat him in combat, he'll just give you a head. Well, Nimron's head, of course. So there you go, they're my top 5 Big D raid bosses. Who's yours? Post in the comments down below. And I'll be back with more stuff very soon. Toodles!